water, and now we have the sea level rise
the merciful
and the subsidence of
His Excellency President of the French Republic, Excellencies, heads of state and government, Mr. Secretary General of the United Nations, Mrs. Secretary General of the UNFCCC. Ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I would like to thank His Excellency the French President for the kind invitation, hospitality, and organization of this conference. I also wish to express my condolences to the leadership and people of France for the victims of the vicious terrorist attacks in Paris, and we reiterate our strong condemnation of these attacks and the full solidarity of Egypt with France in our common fight against all kinds of terrorism. We are facing a crucial juncture in our international endeavor, as all of our peoples are watching us and hoping that this conference proves to be a turning point in achieving our common goal to secure a better future for humanity and protect the rights of the next generations.
And our efforts will never be complete in this regard without reaching an international agreement that will strongly confront climate change and achieves the aspired balance between socioeconomic development and protecting the environment, and also provides better circumstances to realize international peace and security. Ladies and gentlemen, Egypt has played and is still playing a constructive role in different negotiation rounds on climate change, reaching our conference where we are today out of Egypt's responsibility to represent the African continent and out of the unity, to represent the unity of the African continent. All African countries speak the same voice to defend the interests of the continent and achieve the aspiration and the prosperity for its people. The African continent is the continent that contributes less to climate change and the one that is most affected by its impact. This is why we need to have cooperation between African countries and least developed countries, and also small countries that are made up of small islands. We need to reach a clear agreement that should be binding to us all, which is based on sharing burdens and responsibilities between developed and developing countries within the framework of shared responsibility to address this challenge. Indeed, the aspired allocations of funds should be balanced. It is not acceptable to only focus on reduction of harmful emissions without giving equal attention to other elements, especially the ones related to building the capacities of developing countries to adapt to climate change. Also, we need to provide technical and technological support, and this agreement should have a global target for adaptation, and it should also have a commitment of not having global temperature of more than 1.5 centigrade, and that developed countries should be responsible towards developing countries in a way that will enable developing and African countries to reduce harmful emissions and achieve sustainable development. A report that was issued recently by the United Nations Environmental Program indicated that approximately 12 billion US dollar is needed every year until the year 2020, and this figure is very much expected to increase in order to tackle the damages and the harms made by climate change. And we need to exert all efforts to reach a sustainable agreement that has a commitment to make available 100 billion US dollar by 2020 to developing countries, and to double this amount after 2020. That was the framework under which African countries tailored two main initiatives initiatives. One of them is relevant to using renewable energies, and the other initiative is to the efforts of the adaptation made by African countries. And I here call upon international and regional organizations to provide all the support needed to these two initiatives. I also call upon the international community to support the efforts made by Egypt at the national level in this regard. Egypt and all African countries fulfilled their commitments to provide their contributions and their national plans that are ambitious in order to face climate change. Before this conference, Egypt adopted a comprehensive sustainable development national plan up till 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, despite of the difficulties of the challenges that we are facing, I'm fully confident that we have the wisdom and the solidarity which is enough to overcome all these challenges in a way that will enable us to achieve a historical achievement in the march of global developmental work in order to provide a brighter future for our people and for the future generations. Thank you very much, and peace be upon you all.
Merci, Président. Angela Merkel, chancelière d'Allemagne.